Aloha, my name is Sheryl Matsuoka, the Executive Director of the Hawaii Restaurant Association. And mahalo for joining me here on Restaurants Hawaii on the ThinkTech platform. Today, you will learn all about Hawaii's Braddahhood Grindz and Sisterhood Grindz, a super innovative nutrition program supporting our University of Hawaii athletics program. I'll be having a discussion with the founder, Ryan Tanaka. Aloha, and I'd like to introduce my guest today, Ryan Tanaka, the chairman of the Hawaii Restaurant Association, who created Braddahhood Grindz. Ryan Tanaka is the principal and CFO at Kai Hawaii and managing partner and CEO of Island Business Management, Underground Services Incorporated, Giovanni Pastrami, CJ's and Round Table Pizza at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, and chairman of the Hawaii Restaurant Association. On top of all that, Ryan is the founder and creator of Braddahhood and Sisterhood Grindz. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you, Sheryl, for having me.
I just want to give everyone a little bit of background about Ryan and how we both met. And this is at the peak of the pandemic when everyone was watching the pandemic coming across our shores. Ryan reached out to me and he was really working, Ryan, I'd say 24/7 on a program called Commercial Rent Relief. And what Ryan did was reach out to all of the industries and brought us all together at a time when the pandemic was already here and strengthened our community by communicating with us how we need to band together to try to give some relief to our local businesses. And from that, that's how our relationship started, Ryan.
That was a very trepidous time for everyone, and uncertainty is a kiss of death. And there we were amidst COVID, and right where all non-essential businesses were forced to shut down for half of the year in 2020. And Sheryl, what was amazing is when I met you and began working with you, you have such a long-standing history of doing so many great things and incredible things for other people, for the community, and so it was. It was very serendipitous that we were able to cross paths and then really begin collaborating on this statewide effort that started with a commercial rent survey that eventually led to Mayor Caldwell giving out over half of the city funding, so $175 million to help small businesses. And from there, you just took off, and then it was the Hawaii restaurant card with other partners and so many new things that you've been doing. And fortunately for me, I had the privilege of joining the Hawaii Restaurant Association as a board member first and now as the chairman. And now I really can see how much you do for all of us. And that's why I call you the magic maker of the restaurant industry.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Ryan, it was just a natural progression. You were a board director and everybody saw the value and that you brought to our food service industry. So it was natural that they nominated and elected you chairman of the Hawaii Restaurant Association. The different programs that Ryan has been working towards behind the scenes, the relationships that Ryan brings to us through our lawmakers has been phenomenal, Ryan. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Sheryl.
And now today we're talking about another program. First it was commercial rent relief. That's how I first met Ryan and saw all of his energy and all of the relationships that he brought together in the business community. Now, it's our Braddahhood Grindz and Sisterhood Grindz program, which is a key program to recruit and retain top athletes for our University of Hawaii. And Ryan, can you please take us to the very beginning, the very first conversation you had with Coach Timmy Chang and how Braddahhood and Sisterhood Grindz actually started?
I would love to. I had the pleasure of getting to know Timmy Chang when he was first hired. And it was, he came to Giovanni Pastrami. I hosted him with about 10 other business leaders, and everyone was so impressed with his character and his style and his charisma and his dedication and commitment and integrity that he was bringing to UH at such a pivotal time. So a very good friend of mine, Rusty Kamori, wrote a couple of fantastic books, Beyond the Lines and Beyond the Game, and I gifted both of them to Coach Timmy Chang and his entire football team. And in his office, he asked if, because again, we had become so close so quickly, he asked if I could also help with off-season nutrition. So the legislature had cut their budget, but his boys were training so hard every day. So from that meeting, I said yes to 8 weeks, committing Giovanni Pastrami if necessary, but I was going to go see you next. So I was confident that I would have another solution. And sure enough, 1 hour later, between you and your restaurant, Ruby Tuesdays with Rick Nakashima, Tom Jones and Gyotaku Japanese Restaurants, and our favorite Mike Palmer, Kuhio Ao Food Hall at the International Marketplace, we had 4 restaurants. So I called Timmy right back and said, Timmy, better yet, we have 4 restaurants that'll help you for 8 weeks. And that was the birth of Brotherhood Grinds.
It's so phenomenal. Restaurants always look for, and businesses in general, look for ways to support our community, Ryan. And this program allows us to support our community through our athletics program. And I'm being a mom, my daughter played volleyball for both, her high school and for private league, knows how important nutrition is to our athletes. So more so to these athletes that are representing our state, we need to support them. So explain to us, what is the NIL, name, image, likeness? Explain to our viewers what that is.
Sure. So I from that phone call with Timmy saying, okay, we're gonna feed your boys. It took me 3 weeks to get approval to do this. So it's not as simple as you think. With the players, I had to enter name, image, likeness agreements with every single player. So today we now have 8 teams, 8 University of Hawaii teams between football, men's, women's volleyball, men's, women's basketball, men's, women's golf, and women's soccer. So 250 athletes. And then to feed the coaches, we had to work through the business office for NCAA compliance that it was a legitimate fundraising event. We had to submit gift cards that they would have to get approval on. And so everything was scheduled around compliance. And once that was all in place, then we launched Brotherhood Grinds at Giovanni Pastrami as a kickoff event. And that's how I was able to invite lawmakers and other business leaders, yourself, and members of HRA, the entire football team, all the coaches, all the players, was because we had checked all these boxes off. So there was a lot of behind the scenes work and effort from so many people. I'm so appreciative to all of them for helping to make this possible.
And it's you spearheading it, Ryan. You're the leader of this whole program, the founder and creator of Brotherhood Grinds and Sisterhood Grinds. I being in the room, I could feel the energy. I could feel the thankfulness from these athletes who just having a pizza. Ryan, so happy just to sit down. And as you all know, breaking bread together means so much to these athletes. So they all got together with the coaches, having a pizza, having some pasta at Giovanni, and then seeing the community supporting them. That's what this program is really all about. I'm sorry to get teary, but it's just such a great program. So Ryan, I got so many gifts out of participating in the Brotherhood and Sisterhood Grinds program by just seeing how touched these athletes were, that the community was behind them. What kind of unexpected gifts did you receive after you put together this program?
Oh, anytime you help someone, you receive so many things in return, and that's not why you do it, but that's just the natural result of doing that. I think the largest is that we have so many of our valued stakeholders within Giovanni Pastrami who are able to see this incredible event that Coach Timmy Chang and I put together so quickly, and it just made them proud to be a part of all that we do, not just in the restaurant, but outside of the restaurant. And then just to your point, Sheryl, the athletes, when they come down, we provide a terrific spread of bottomless pizza, gourmet round table pizza, because I have a license with Round Table. So they get fresh dough, right, with fresh ingredients, right out of the oven, made to order, melting in their mouth, bottomless pasta, right? So all they can eat, chicken Alfredo, and then bottomless drinks. So that's their menu for Giovanni Pastrami. Every restaurant does it a little bit differently. So there's variety. And again, it just inspires them and motivates them to train harder because they know that the community is behind them. But most importantly, we then bring outside of food, the community stakeholders. So now there's multiple hotels, there's retail establishments, and they're offering giveaways. We have larger developers and other members from the business community who are offering cash donations. That's all going back to these players, whether it's randomly or it's also by way of selection. If they have modeled behavior, because it is NIL, so it's compensation for them. It's not free food. It is compensation. Then they're able to earn other things, and that's what makes this program so unique.
And for me, the gift that I got, Ryan, that day, the first day when I was over at Giovanni, the kickoff event, so exciting, so electrifying. You had like all the players there, all the coaches there, and the community there. And the players seeing the support. Best gift of all was when one of the football players, and it was some really big guy who came up to me and said, Auntie, this really beats having rum because my typical diet, eating ramen and drinking some kind of a protein shake thing. And he said, Auntie, you don't understand how delicious this food is and how it just satisfies them. And I tell you, Ryan, at that point, I realized how important this program was to our students. So thank you so much. And as you mentioned, athletes are also giving back, right, to the restaurants by taking pictures. Can you go through a little bit about how they're giving back to the restaurants that are supporting them?
Yes. So this second year, we just launched year two, as you know, which is phenomenal because it started from 4 restaurants, and now because of Coach Timmy Chang and again his character and his extraordinary leadership, he asked me and his courage, he asked me to recruit or to take care of 17 weeks, the entire off season. So I went out and I was able to recruit 16 other restaurants, and then he had me come into the auditorium at 5:45 in the morning and meet with all of his boys. So in preparing for that presentation, sure, we're always giving presentations in the business world. We had to do something special that was meaningful and inspiring for the boys and almost like a training. So I gave them 3 very simple areas of their job description. First is to help, right? When restaurant owners are doing what they can do, just help them. Second is to thank, making sure that the Sheryl Matsuokas, the Rick Nakashimas, right? Everyone who's a part of this program, there's so many contributors that they look them in the eye and say thank you from the bottom of their heart. And then third, again, because it's compensation, they can promote the restaurants. But the way they can promote, I actually brought the second week. So I've visited the team 3 weeks now in the morning because of Coach Timmy, because we want to make sure that this is a truly impactful community building program. I brought a social media influencer. And so she's Rose Wong from Kolohe. She's also a model University of Hawaii graduate. She trained them on building your own personal brand. And these boys, they're celebrities in their circles. So they have several thousands of followers, but they can build their brand even stronger during this time, during their glory years. So she taught them just reminded them, hey, here's a way that you can leverage. Now we have 27 corporate sponsors. So how they can leverage all these corporate sponsors to build their own brand. And by doing that, they're also promoting the corporate sponsors, right? It becomes this win-win-win across the board. And that's what makes this entire program so unique.
I just love it, Ryan. So are you looking for more businesses and restaurants to jump on board to your Brotherhood Grinds and Sisterhood Grinds fast moving train?
Yes, I know he doesn't like when I tell him and when I say his name, but because of Coach Keiki, he has inspired me to do a little bit more. So now there's a social media team, we have social media channels, and we have a website, www.brotherhoodgrinds.com, where you can either donate in cash or you can sign up. You can fill out an inquiry form. You can participate as another corporate sponsor or as a restaurant partner for not just this year, but also for future years. And not just for football, for any of the other sports teams that we're servicing.
That is amazing. And the message to everyone watching this YouTube channel is this is exactly what we need. We need more Ryan Tanakas, in this world that can help an athletic program that funds got cut. And now we're feeding these student athletes and supporting them. And Ryan, I know because that day when I was there and that athlete told me, that football player told me, Auntie, this really beats ramen and my protein drink. I was like, oh my goodness, not realizing what he said to me. I'm sure he didn't realize the impact it was going to have on me, but it stuck with me, Ryan. It really stuck with me. And I know because my daughter was college student, and I know that she probably had a lot of ramen in her days, right? When you're studying and work and studying for exams and things like that. So that's not really the best diet, right? So, Ryan, what else can the community do to support the Brotherhood Grinds and Sisterhood Grinds program? By attending the events, attend games, also a large part of it. Like you said, contributing. Is there anything else the community can do to get around the program?
There are so many different ways that the community can help. But let me just start by saying, Coach Timmy Chang is such a special, remarkable individual. And we're so blessed that he's committing his time and his resources and all of his heart and passion for football back to University of Hawaii to rebuild this program. Not only that, but when I began expanding it to other sports, he was so incredibly supportive. And that spoke to his character and his integrity. So now, just like your daughter, we have women's volleyball, we have men's volleyball, right? So you kind of think about who your favorite athletes are, your favorite team to support, and you can come onto our website, again, brotherhoodgrindz.com, and you can direct your support to those teams, to those athletes. Because it's name, image, likeness, this is federal legislation, we're able to take care of them in so many different ways. Last year, someone got, because of Chris Mills at iHeartMedia, a $1,200 UFC 1-year membership. This year, because of Mike Kawazoe at Waikiki Malea Hotel, someone got a 2-night stay at the Waikiki Malea Hotel. Simeon Miranda from Embassy Suites always gives hotel stays or credits to hotel stays, which is incredible. And that's been one of the biggest highlights of all the kickoff events for all the sports at Giovanni Pastrami. And Barbara Campbell from Outrigger, she's always bringing gift cards from other restaurants at Waikiki Beach Walk because she helped to pioneer Waikiki Beach Walk. So to tell that story, to bring them down, now we have Kolohe right next door for jewelry giveaways. And so Rose has been so instrumental in helping to build this program right across the street. The newest retail vendor and sponsor is Tom Park of Kahala Sportswear. So we're going to kick off men's golf in 2 months, and Tom Park is going to be giving the men's team something to because he has a May line coming out. So there's always something new. We're going to be integrating into so many different aspects of the community, whether it's restaurants, retail, hotels, other large companies. Hawaii Pacific Health is now a corporate sponsor, for example. We have banks we're talking with who want to be a part of it. So there's so many ways, Sheryl, that the community can continue to just understand the program, watch it. We have social media, follow us on social media, and be a part of the program in any way that they want to.
And I know that, Ryan, other states also follow this YouTube channel because they tell me, when we launch the Hawaii Restaurant Card, when we launch our local programs, they're like, how did you do that? I saw you on YouTube talking about that. So I know, Ryan, that other states will also, I'm hoping, adopt something similar and launch it in their states for their community, for their local high schools, because every state has a local community high school college program. So I'm sure that this will be replicated in other states, Ryan.
Well, that's possible, and if they do, that would be fine, especially because they would know that it started in Hawaii. And that aloha spirit, right? What makes us so unique is that the entire community stands behind our players. And that's what Coach Timmy is telling his boys is you represent that H, you have a state behind you. You have a state on your back. And that's where we need to back him up and support him, not just with a meal here or there, but really with I don't want to say win or lose, but for me, it is win or lose. Win or lose, are they making good decisions off the field? Are they representing University of Hawaii off the field with character? And when you meet these players, they are phenomenal. When you meet the coaches, they're inspirational. What a wonderful program to be a part of. And that's what makes University of Hawaii different.
I love it, Ryan. So, Ryan, what is next for Brotherhood and Sisterhood Grinds? I know you're in year 2, hoping to go to year 3. So what's next?
So this year is really the big difference is the integration of the coaches and players, right? Once we have a signed deal, then it's a little easier to, and again, we have attorneys who are guiding us to make sure that we're always following the rules and NCAA compliant and NIL. But there is some coordination once I sign the deal with the player, because it will impact their schedule. So you can't just bring them over and feed them, right? Because if they're supposed to train, and again, off-season training is also voluntary. So a lot of it is just like, making sure that we're following. There's so many different compliance aspects that we're having to adhere to. But what's next is that if we can continue this momentum, if the players can promote the restaurants, if the coaches can just support from, as they always have been, and if the community can continue with new restaurants, the same restaurants. It's been amazing with the original four, right? With Ruby Tuesday Hawaii and Rick Nakashima, Tom Jones, Kyotaku Japanese Restaurant, Mike Palmer, Kokila Food Hall at International Marketplace, and of course myself at Giovanni Pastrami. Those original four restaurants, they continue to be the leaders. And now we have Zippy's Restaurant, Honolulu Burger Company, and Jersey Mike's. So we have this original seven, right, who added on after. And now that has created enough critical mass where if we can get more restaurants, and if we can lower the expectations where it becomes a true win-win-win, this may be a very sustainable program for years to come.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, Ryan. I'm hoping that we can sustain this program. And that the support of the Hawaii Restaurant Association and myself behind it. We support our UH athletes. Ryan, is there anything that I forgot to mention?
I want to thank you, Sheryl, not just for Brotherhood Grindz and Sisterhood Grindz, but just for all that you do for our industry, for so many of us. I don't think people, again, as chairman, I see how much you put into it. And it's not just time, it's your connections, it's your ability, your leadership and your coordination and your ability to inspire other people and to bring them to support a common cause. So thank you for all that you do. And again, if you are a restaurant owner and want to get involved, contact Sheryl Matsuoka to become a part of the Hawaii Restaurant Association.
Thank you, Ryan. And back to you, Ryan. As the chairman of the Hawaii Restaurant Association, as I said in your intro, you have so many different businesses. Your time that you give to the HRA is just amazing because it is weekly meetings, it is board meetings, it is different programs and events. And Ryan always to show up and give not only of himself and his team and the community, and sometimes even his wife is helping, so we appreciate everybody's help to keep this association going. And in closing, I just want to remind everyone that this program, Brotherhood Grindz and Sisterhood Grindz, really, Ryan Tanaka, the founder and creator of this program, is to support the University of Hawaii's athletic program. And it's such an important program. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me on our website, and they know it's hawaiirestaurant.org. Again, my name is Sheryl Matsuoka, the Executive Director of the Hawaii Restaurant Association. The Hawaii Restaurant Association is the voice of Hawaii's restaurants and food service industry. See you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you so much for watching ThinkTech Hawaii. If you like what we do, please like us and click the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Vimeo. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and donate to us at thinktechhawaii.com. Mahalo.